Welcome back, everyone, to another beautiful day, another beautiful podcast. With me today, I have Salim and his business, itsGlo Cleaning. Salim, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your story with everyone.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Awesome. So let's jump right in. Give us your background. Where were you born? Where'd you grow up? Schooling, all that.
Absolutely. So I actually was born in Syria. So it's like very far from where I'm at today. I was born in like a little city called Latakia. It's like on the coast, and I grew up there my entire life. I was in Syria up until like I finished high school, and like there was war and stuff there. So like I grew up from grade 9 up until I graduated. It was like all war and stuff like that. There was no potential there. So my parents decided to send me abroad to study, basically. So I went for university in Lebanon and Beirut. I was in a university doing my freshman year and civil engineering. I did that for a year, and then I transferred to the University of Toronto here where I am today. I completed my studies in civil engineering, and I thought that's what I wanted to do. So I was in civil engineering for 4 years, a very tough degree, and I really thought I wanted to do it up until I did my internship. And I think summer of COVID, and probably because of COVID, it was like very tough being in the work environment. Like my first time working a real job, I don't even remember my pay. It was probably like $25 an hour or something like that. But it was just me and one other guy in the office, and it probably gave me the wrong perception of what like working is like. So I really did not like it. Maybe it worked out well. So basically I finished my internship. I went back for the fourth year. In that fourth year, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing civil engineering. I'm not doing that. So a lot of people were interested in something called like management consulting, which is like, I'm very entrepreneurial by spirit. So they pitch it in a way where like, hey, join us in this career. We help Fortune 500 companies grow from like whatever product they want to introduce. They get us to do it. Whatever the government's like user services, like airlines, blah blah blah. Like all the big companies use this for big strategic decisions and stuff like that. So I was like super interested in that, and I got into that. So I work in IBM consulting for about 6 months. I transitioned into a company called Accenture, which is actually based in Chicago, I think, where you guys are.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, so it's also a huge company, like probably like one of the top 50 companies, like in terms of size. Been doing like strategy consulting. So that's us of clients like the government. I don't know, like a bunch of clients, like insurance clients want to introduce something new. Like we're working with C-suite executives. So like a lot of cool stuff. To work like 1 year in, I also like got, I was like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. And I started itsGlo Cleaning. Just like was on YouTube one day. I was like, you know what? Like I could do this. Let's start. So started itsGlo Cleaning while working at Accenture. And my managers there like would make fun of me. Like, they were super supportive, but like be in the middle of a meeting, I was like, oh, I gotta go out. Like I gotta take a client call. So they still make fun of me till date. But that's how it started. We had like a client every week, maybe one client a week. We would do it for whatever, like basically free at that point. It was so small. It was like, it was exciting. But like, yeah, that's how I started. It was like 2 years ago now, almost. It was like October 23. And yeah, the rest is history now. So
Beautiful. I have a very close friend from Syria, so I'm aware of the situation and what's going on. Tough to move from your home, right? And especially for those circumstances. And when you were growing up, anybody in your family a business owner that could kind of guide you now, or that you kind of looked up to and saw, hey, maybe that's something I want to do?
yeah, like nobody in the cleaning business for sure. But
But any other business?
my dad is entrepreneurial. Like before the war, he was leading Pepsi in Syria. So like he was like the CFO of Syria and Pepsi basically. So it was like a
Wow.
huge job. And then when the war started, he started his own company. It's like a distribution company. He has like warehouses. Like he distributes brands like Nestle and stuff like that. Like his work is pretty good, but like he works around the clock. He's very entrepreneurial. I learned a lot from him. He was always the one pushing me to, go out and explore. Like a job, basically, is what he told me. A job will not teach you how to become an entrepreneur. Like the only thing that can teach you how to become an entrepreneur is like if you actually go and do it.
Absolutely.
I always looked up to him. So yeah, like that was probably my motivation.
And seeing what you said with, your first office job in the middle of COVID, I would definitely say bad take. That's
Sure.
definitely not how any, especially corporate world jobs were the norm. Whatever was going on at that time, definitely everything was. ass backwards to say the least.
It was like literally the first time, like literally as soon as COVID happened, it was like like March is when COVID hit here in Ontario in Canada. This job was in June. Like it was like in the midst of what was happening. And, at the time I was sad that, it's like, it's my first job. Like why is it like that? Like I'm unlucky, blah, blah, blah. But like now looking back, you see like probably worked out, if it wasn't for that, maybe I'll be like a civil engineer now.
Which wouldn't be bad either, but we love business owners. We love people working for themselves and changing lives daily, right? So you said
Absolutely.
you started itsGlo October of 2023. You were
That's
on
correct.
YouTube and what? Did it like an ad pop up? Did a guru like hit you with a video? What was the inspiration to, I guess, start it, and like how did you just end up on YouTube finding it?
Dude, I don't know. The algorithm stuff, it knows what you want. It pushes those videos. I can't remember what the channel was, but like it was like one of those, like, oh, like here's like how this business makes however much money. And you go on there, it's like an interview with the founder and showing like what they do and stuff. I don't even know if it's real. Like maybe they don't have a business. It's just like, it's
So
just
maybe
mo-
kind of like this. Somebody's going to watch this video and say, is this guy's cleaning business even real? Right?
yeah, no, yeah, you get it. But like, sometimes like it doesn't matter if it's real or not. Like it's just pushed me to do it. And like you do it, you go into it. And then I don't know, we can get into like how we got started and stuff, but it wasn't tough it wasn't easy in the beginning. I mean, like, but yeah, like you do it. And I think like as long as you stick to it and you don't just give up, you're just like, yeah, it'll work out.
Right. I mean, we still get comments on videos and posts and ads that we run as the company, people being like, "Oh, look, another scam." And it's
Right.
funny, it will never go away. It's just people that have the doubt in their mind until they look a little bit deeper and say, "Hey, this is actually viable. It's something that
You know what?
can be done."
People would say anything not to do the thing. Like they would like that they give themselves reasons to say like, hey, these people are lying or um it's just like booking koala, for example, making those videos for people to join their platform or
Right.
like it's a scam or these people are selling courses, whatever. Like they always like place reasons like and maybe there's some truth to that, but at the end of the reason, like at the end of the day, like I don't know, like for sure things work. Like you can't tell me a cleaning business can't make money or like any business can't make money. It's just like whether or not you want to do it. It's like you could
There
put
will
whatever
be
do
there
it. Yeah.
I'm sure there are people doing hot takes being like, "You could make 1,000,000 in 6 months." Extremely unlikely. I'd give it a 2% chance of happening, and those are the cases, but everything else, it works, right? So, do
Absolutely.
you do you remember how much you invested when you first started?
It's like fresh out of grad, like I just graduated. I didn't have much money. Had a job. It was a good job, good pay. I was at like Accenture, as I mentioned, like definitely above average salary. I didn't have much to like rent here is crazy. Like people who are entry level jobs, like even if you make like six figures, there's not much left. So I didn't have a lot of money to invest. I remember jumping on like Wix, hosted a website. How much was that? Like maybe 300, I don't know, something like that. uh, Bought a domain for like $10 on GoDaddy, and I don't know, printed some brochures and flyers, like I don't know, this one here, like stuff like this. And like went around condos, distributed them. So like in terms of money invested, I don't think it was much because even like the beauty about like service-based businesses is that you don't have to really invest a lot of money to get started. You can subcontract, you can like a lot of people look for work and even you would think now like even now because we have like a lot of jobs now, I think who would work for like one two jobs a week, but there are people that work for one two jobs a week. They're more than happy to take them from you.
Right.
That's how I started. I had a guy, not a great guy, but basically whenever I would get a job, let's say I charged 150, I would pay him like 120. Like I wouldn't make money, but the first year in a business is like supposed to be about learning. And that was my attitude really. It wasn't like, hey, like I just want to grow as fast as possible. It was like, hey, I want to learn as much as possible so that I could scale. Like I wasn't thinking about it as like I want an exponential growth. And like even my parents would be like, oh, like do you want some help? Like invest, blah, blah, blah. I said I wouldn't know what to do with the money at that point. Like I just want to learn about the business, and I don't think capital is the constraint at this point. Now, if you give me money, maybe like we can do stuff with it. But at that point, I don't think cleaning per se needs a lot of capital to be invested. Now, what are your thoughts? You
I agree, especially if you can't find somebody to subcontract out the work, you can go do the work, right? You could go set up the website same day, post in a Facebook group, get a job, and go do the work yourself and collect the money, right?
You bet.
You'll learn a you'll learn a lot, and the
Yeah.
way you're doing it, great. Learning as much as you can in the first year, trying to figure out what's good, what's not good, and going from there versus dumping money that you don't know where it's gonna go. Sure, you can. It works for some people if you have some knowledge of whether it's marketing or hiring or what have you, but you wanting to learn the ins and outs, it's a great thing. What have been some of those challenges in the last 2 years that you've faced?
I feel like the challenges you face in the beginning are very different from the challenges you face as you mature. Like, I could get into both if you'd like me to, but definitely like the types of challenges I was working on like last year are not challenges that I see as challenges now, for example. So like when you start, your worry is like, how do I get clients? How do I get people like through the door to like, want to use my services? How do I hire? It's very difficult. I would say hiring is more difficult now, honestly. But basically, in the beginning, the main constraint was like, hey, how can we get more people to knock on our door and be like, hey, like how much do you charge for cleaning? That was the main challenge. Like when we started, and like getting as many, again, learn as much as possible. Like we would go to a job. Let's say we get there and the client is not responding anymore. Oh, we don't have a credit card on file. Oh shoot, like we have to pay the cleaner and out of pocket. For example, like you would learn stuff like that. And there's a lot of things like that. I know it's like a stupid small thing, but there's a lot of things like that that you just learn as you start that you don't anticipate. Things like how long does a cleaner take to clean a one bedroom apartment? Like let's say in the beginning I wouldn't know. So like I would schedule two cleans for a person and then they're late for the second appointment and I have to call the client and be like, hey, like where they like you face challenges just out of inexperience, I would say, that are
Sure.
not things that you per se, I don't see as challenges now that you have the data, you have the knowledge, you have the capital, like you have more resources, you have more people to support you. It's a totally different game, I would say. Now it's more like challenges in terms of, hey, how do I you think you were in the cleaning business, but in the end of the day, we're in the hiring business. Like all we do, our value prop is like, how do we find great talent and keep that talent like motivated and engaged to keep pushing forward? Like I saw that in Accenture when I was working. There was like, oh, COVID year, economy's bad. We can't give promotions. I see like people are not motivated to work. And these are like educated people. These are uh, like very high IQ people that are working. So I was like taking the same principle. How can we apply now? Like that's the challenge that I have now. Like, hey, how can we take those principles of introducing, I don't know, incentives for cleaners to keep pushing and keep going forward and stay with you? And you experiment with stuff like that. And how do we get new cleaners to join? How do we get more conversions? I don't know, like things that are more tactical, I would say now, rather than in the beginning, it was more so like just basics and learning. And that's why I say, like, if we had invested a lot of money in the beginning, we would have probably ruined our reputation. Let's say, like, I had so many clients and I don't know how long it takes, like, so many complaints. I don't know how to hire proper cleaners. I don't know how to charge for a job. Like, it's not a wise decision to like do that. Like, so
I would agree. I would
yeah,
agree. Yeah, the challenges for sure in the first even 3 months are completely different than once you get the ball rolling a little bit and you have a couple cleaners and a couple steady jobs. Then the next 3 to 6, 3 to 9 months, those are different. Seems like every quarter you get a little bit new challenges, and the old challenges were not, you look at them, like you said, not as challenges, but as stepping stones at that point.
yeah. And I think that applies in every business, not just cleaning. Like for you guys running Koala,
Yeah.
for anybody.
It's all a learning curve, especially if it's your first business, right? You're and the cleaning service is in Toronto as well,
Correct. We're only in Toronto.
only in Toronto. How are you different than other cleaning services in Toronto?
So I would say in a couple of ways, I would say one of the big ways we're different is that we know how to say no to clients. Like I don't take on any client. And I think that's something that's important in any type of business as well. Like you can't just say yes to anybody. I know a lot of cleaning business owners that would say yes to any job. Like if someone calls me about a post renovation store cleaning, I wouldn't take it. Like I could take it and send the cleaners, be like, hey, do what you can. Like it's not my bread and butter. It's not what I know. I don't like, as I meant, like we learned how to do condo cleanings and house cleanings in the first year. Maybe that's something for the future. But as of now, like there are some types of cleans that I wouldn't take on, areas that I wouldn't take on, specialize in a scope of thing. Like we have three types of cleanings. That's it. That's what we offer. We don't clean for hoarder living conditions. We don't clean if there's pests or cockroaches or whatever. Some people get pissed because of that, but like, oh, like you're a cleaner, so how can you do that? Like, sorry, we can't do this. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Find somebody else. I don't want to go into a place and not be able to do a good job. So that's like the first thing I would say in terms of operations. Second thing is that I don't think we've ever rescheduled a client. Like we've never called, like, it's how I hear that when people call us like, hey, I had a cleaning service and they canceled on me last minute. And I think the reason that happens with a lot of cleaning companies is that, they take more than they can shoot. They buy more than they can shoot. Like, I don't want to do that. We say no. Like, I'm with the philosophy that, hey, let's grow slowly. Let's take things one step at a time. It's like we've been growing very fast, but not as fast as we could, I would say. We hire very slowly. Like when we hire somebody new, we're not sending them solo right away. Take steps. Like, hey, I want to make sure 100% that this person can handle it. Because in the beginning, I've had issues where, for example, a cleaner would come. It's like, oh, I used to work for company X in Toronto and they wouldn't give me enough jobs. And I want to like get more jobs and I want to fill my schedule. I'm like, okay, we can do that for you, but join us like for a week and let's see how it goes.
Sure.
Then her two cleans in one day. The second day, two cleans in one day. Third day, she doesn't show up, for example. Like that sort of behavior, you can't predict from one time or from an interview, especially in like this industry, I would say. So like just things like that we learn in the beginning. Now we take steps to make sure, we're hiring the right people. We only keep the right people. We only hire slowly. Like we say no to a lot of clients now. Like a lot of people call us and we can service them, but we don't have enough staff to service them. And this is bad, but like we have to figure out how to make hiring faster without compromising on quality. So I think staff quality is definitely the main differentiator. We like our complaint rate is very low in terms of, how many complaints we get. In terms of client facing stuff, what makes us different is like also how easy we make it for clients to book. Like we don't ask too many questions. We like, we have a simple, and like I tried to make it as simple as possible. Before booking Koala, we had like a form that we would use to take the bookings as simple as possible. What's your name? What's your email? How many beds? How many baths? Is it in a challenging state? Done. Like that's all the questions we need. Sometimes it backfires in terms of like maybe like it's not enough questions to anticipate, but 90% of the times it's enough. And I'm willing to take that sacrifice in order to make it easier for the customer. They have very short attention spans. They don't want to like, that's like with all of us though. Like nobody wants
Yeah.
to like go on a form for like 20 minutes, like it's like 5 seconds, boom, done. And we're flat rate service. I don't think this is uncommon, but we tell customers, hey, whatever you see online is the price you're going to pay as long as your description is accurate, no questions asked. So that's another thing that probably we bring all the supplies. We like basically all you got to do as a customer is go online, book it up, and that's it. Don't worry about anything else. We'll get it done. I don't know. You speak with a lot of cleaning businesses, so like you would know if this is common or not. I don't know, but I don't think you need too much to differentiate. Like it's not. I think customers just want their house cleaned and they want you to show up on time. And as long as you do that, like people are gonna like you. You know?
Trustworthy, honest, friendly. It's like you said, you say it's the hiring business, it's the people business, right? With hiring and, marketing towards your customers. I don't want to say it's a loaded question, but I feel like sometimes people try and give super elaborate answers, and it just comes down to there's enough space for like a ton of these businesses. And like you said, not every customer you take, you say no to customers. That I think is huge. And a lot of people should adapt because it's true. Not every customer is going to be your customer. So, with that, the differentiators are not far and few between, right? So, if you give the good customer service, if you're honest, you show up on time, do a good job, that's all that matters, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Have you had to do or make any tough decisions over the last 2 years?
Tough decisions in terms of like generally or like about something specific.
Generally in the business.
So like I think the toughest decisions are like around now. Like I don't think like they're like any decisions were like major back then. Cause like if you have two people working for you, no decision is really tough. Now that we're growing, every decision that will apply to like multiple people, like we have 15 full time now. It's not a lot of people, like comparatively to probably other companies. But again, like I hire people just enough. So every person that works with me is like packed. Like we don't want to get 20 contractors and give one job each. We have 15 people fully stacked. Like that's it. We just hired someone new. Like that's how we do it basically. But basically now, every time I want to make a decision, for example, switching from contractors to employees, blah, 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 it's changing the pay structure, how they're getting paid. You can't introduce an incentive, for example, and then remove it. For like you're gonna face a lot of backlash. That's what I'm working on right now. Cause like if I tell them, for example, hey, like you're gonna get a transportation bonus of $10. And then let's say want to change it in a month. They're all going to be really upset. They're going to be like, oh, why are you taking away our money? Why are you doing this? Why are you changing? So every decision now regarding like staff and hiring and like compensation and becomes really tough because you got to really do the analysis and like decide if it makes sense 100% before you do it, because change is not easy following that. So I would say that's the changing payroll, like which we did like recently, has been like probably the toughest decision I've made so far in terms of operations.
To be 2 years in and have 15 providers fully staffed or full scheduled, that is a good number. That is not something small. So that is definitely you're chugging along. You're doing pretty damn well for being 2 years in and having a full schedule for all 15 providers with managing your time and prioritizing. How do you go about that? What's the best way for you?
It's been a really tough year, I would say, especially like recently, because up until like now, I still have my Accenture job. I'm still working full time.
Wow.
I don't know why I'm still working full time, to be honest. Quitting is difficult, I would say, but I think it's like, I don't think I'm staying anymore. So that's one thing. So I have a full time job. I have another full time job with itsGlo. We just hired our first VA. So we haven't had a VA for the last 2 years. It's been me and my girlfriend. So handling this. So it's been tough between like picking up calls while I'm in a meeting with the CFO of some company, or like, like, I don't know, a client is complaining about something and they want to hear back right away. And me texting my girl, hey, pick up. It's been a challenge for sure.
Sure.
That said, I think like when it comes to it's like it comes down to like knowing what's priority. Like I've seen that when I started, I would tend to focus on like what I like doing. For example, let's say you come from a sales background and you like sales, you would always prioritize the sales stuff subconsciously without really focusing on the other stuff that matters, that are more impactful to your business. For example, like you may hear from people saying, oh, I'm optimizing my funnel. And you ask them, like, oh, what's your conversion rate? It's like, I have a 60% conversion rate. Dude, that's pretty good. Like, go focus on something else, like hiring, leads, anything. If you come from marketing, you were probably going to like focus on SEO and getting more leads and flyers and strategies, when maybe you're doing much better than other businesses. So really, when it comes to managing time, I think the best thing that I've been doing is like asking myself the question of like, hey, what's my limitation right now? Like what's the worst thing we're doing right now? And like just putting the resources into like fixing that problem before going and optimizing my blog posts on my website, for example, or optimizing like getting more leads. We already get so many leads. Like I don't need to put any time on that. I haven't done SEO stuff in like probably 3 months now. We're getting a good amount of leads. Like I don't need to do that. I don't need to like run ads at the moment. Like we're doing great on that. What I need to focus on, for example, is hiring. Like that's what I need to focus on right now. I just hired a VA. Now that the priority is to train them and make sure they're, on board and ready to go. Once that's done, maybe I can pivot into like the next priority. It's just basically to make it simple. Forget about what you like. Look at your metrics. What's the lacking indicator? And focus on that. Once that's fixed, before that's fixed, do not do anything else. That's my philosophy. Like, to be honest, like focus on what matters the most. What's the highest ROI in terms of time?
I can't imagine doing a full-time job and a full-time business like that. 2 years in, with the amount of people working for you, 15, 16, 17, if you want to call your girlfriend working for you or alongside you.
She
Uh,
she owns too. She's an owner. Yeah,
oh, it's the time is coming for you to quit
it is.
Accenture. And once you get to that point, prioritizing time is going to get, I wouldn't say easier, but you'll see an easier route of how to structure your time and move things along. And you'll learn a lot faster. You'll learn more with having more time focused on just the business instead of split with a career here at a 9 to 5 and running your business.
Absolutely. It's always difficult to quit wherever you're working. Like it's difficult to quit, even if you have the metrics to say like, hey, like I could quit and totally like be okay. I don't know why it's difficult. Maybe because I'm still too young. I don't know, but I think it'll work out. And if I was able to do this and with like having both together, I think I could do way more with dedicating my time as long as I keep focused and stay focused.
Would you say having the 9 to 5 is like a safety net?
Like from a financial perspective, I do not think so. Like it's more like when you have a job that a lot of people seek, it's just difficult to quit. I don't know.
Get where I feel what you're saying in that. You've worked your whole life going through school and everything, and you finally get potentially the dream career position. And now you have it. And what ifs come into mind, right? What happens if I quit and this falls through? And can I come back? Can I not? But I feel and I know just by talking to you and knowing your story a little bit and your business, 2 years in, this many employees or workers under you, you're doing right and it's going to continue to succeed because you started your journey being like, I need to learn and I need to know what I don't know. Money is not going to fix that.
I think having the job really helped me start the business, to be honest, because like I knew that I have a good income regardless of how much money. So I was able to start without making money and be okay. So that was helpful. Other things that helped me, like it definitely helped me shape myself and my personality and how I talk to customers. Like when you're interacting with, I don't know, C-suite executives of like a big company and you're trained on how to deliver ideas and, you know, like how you have to start at the high level and break it down for them, like how you have to have, like, how do you de-escalate a situation if a client is upset with you? It's a client facing job. So it definitely helped me a lot in terms of how to handle my own customers. It didn't help me in terms of like how to grow a business for sure. That's something that you just have to learn. But it also was the case that I really didn't need a lot of time to start the business in the beginning. Like I wouldn't say my time was like during the 9 to 5. I wouldn't say like my time was more dedicated to the cleaning business than the Accenture job. It was more so like I had a 9 to 5 and I had to 5 to 9. Like it's like I had two jobs and they were separate and things were built in a way still now where because my staff are good, because they're doing a good job, there's not a lot of micromanagement that needs to be involved in terms of like, oh, the client is upset, let me call them, or like, oh, the cleaner's not showed up. I don't have a lot of that. And that's a blessing because if I did have that, I don't think I would have been able to do both at the same time. So if any cleaning business has that issue, I think it's a hiring problem and they don't have the right people. Just my opinion. I don't know.
Sure. Touching on your leadership, what is that style like for you going into now hiring a VA to help and all the team contractors you have under you?
I don't have any contractors. They're all employees. Like they're all on
You want the
payroll.
employee model, not the contractor model. Okay. So with the employees, even more so now because you can have structure with them and it's not just here's a generic outline, just go. What's the leadership style like with everybody?
I feel like that's another thing that really like being in Accenture and IBM, companies that invest too much in their culture and their like team structures and everything like that also helped me see like what good management looks like. Because I joined as an analyst. Like I got promoted, but I joined as an analyst. So like the lowest rank of a consultant. So it's how you join in fresh from undergrad. The programs are designed in a way where you join as a rotational analyst, like you join multiple teams, whether it's like insurance, I don't know, like, healthcare, public sector. So you work with many teams. Every 3 months, you have a different project, a different team, a different manager, a different leadership style. It helps you see like because I was there, I was being managed. I could tell like when I would perform better and when I would perform less. Every time I had a manager, I would note down like, hey, these are the things I really liked about this manager. These are the things I hated about this manager. And taking all of that and applying it has been like really fun. I really like doing that. I'm a big believer that if people like you, like if you're my manager and I really like you as a friend, as a person to talk to, then I would do everything in my power to like help you. I've seen it with managers that, take the relationship more so as a like, hey, you're my buddy kind of thing. When they ask you for a task, you would go above and beyond to complete the task. You would try your best to like reflect your, I don't know, how much you like them and your work. Whereas like managers that, for example, you don't like, they ask you for something, 5 o'clock, like 5 o'clock, and I was like, oh, sorry, I couldn't finish it. I will do it tomorrow. Like just your attitude towards doing a task is a direct representation of how you like your manager or your team. So I try to carry that. Like I have a personal relationship with every single person that works with me. I have regular check ins with them, every single one of them. And I don't think I could do that when we have like 50 people. But as of now, every 5 weeks, I have a check in with each one of them where I like how things are going. What do you like? What do you not like? What can we do better? And people will complain. Like every time you ask them, what can we do better? They'll find some things to complain about. It's not like you're never going to be, okay, you don't need to like take action on everything you mention, but like just showing them that you hear them and you're there for them. And like really goes a long way, in my opinion. And you give a task, let's say a client asked for something unreasonable and you want them to do it. I never frame it in a way where like, hey, you have to do this. It's like, hey, the client is being really annoying. Let's help together just so we can like, move forward. Let's just like do this. If you need anything from me, like I'm there. And like most of the times they're more like very receptive to that instead of being like, hey, you have to do this. Sometimes you got to push back. Like I've had instances where, let's say we're scheduled for clean. I'm very flexible with them if they want to take a day off, but I make it very clear that, hey, there's two types of companies here: the companies that care for you and they want to give you a job, the companies that hire a million of you and they give like one job each and like they don't care if you call in sick. Which one would you rather be at? It's like, oh, we'd rather have jobs. Okay, so like we're on the same team here. I want to give you a lot of jobs. You got to help me though. You got to understand that if I give you a lot of jobs, that I'm depending on you. And if I'm depending on you, that means that if you cancel on me last minute, it's going to put me in a really tricky situation. I explained that to them from day one and helps them see that like my point of view of like how things work. And it's very rare for one of them to cancel on me, even for like appointments and stuff. Like it's very clear and very defined. I'm a believer in that, like, what do they call them? Negative and positive reinforcements. Like when you,
Mhm.
I'm very big believer in positive reinforcement rather than negative reinforcement. I never put like, oh, if you do this, you're gonna get X less pay or something like that. I never implement any of that. It's more like, hey, do this and we'll be good. Do this and you'll get the jobs every day. Do this and you'll get a bonus. Do this and you're gonna get promoted. So in terms of leader style, I think it's like just like building that rapport with the cleaners, making sure, whether cleaners or like anybody else, making sure you're not treating them, I don't know, like a lot of companies, I think they don't treat their cleaners well. So like treating them with respect, like as humans, as like friends, um, it really goes a long way. Like I know personal stuff about each one of them, their family stuff. I get introduced to like, I don't know, just got invited to one of the cleaners' husband's parents came to Toronto from Mexico and she wants me to meet them. Sometimes it's like that. But I think like them liking me really goes a long way. Like I really believe that for their birthdays, give them a little gift, give them a day off. Like I don't know, just be like close with them. I think is the main,
Caring.
yeah, caring
You
and
care. You just
yeah,
care.
yeah. Because I saw that like when people cared about me in my job, I cared about them, and
Right.
I just want to
It's
implement that.
reciprocal.
Yeah, for sure.
So that just helps you being caring and compassionate. That helps you keep and create and keep that positive company culture. Everybody's doing the right thing, making sure they're on top of it. Their work reflects it. The customers are happy. And that's why, going back to what you said earlier, you have such a low negative response rate from your customers.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, even when they do something, I'm not saying we never get complaints. Like, we do get complaints. When you have like over 300 cleans a month, like you're going to get complaints. There's no way you're getting zero complaints. But sometimes the complaints are valid. Sometimes they're not. Whenever we get a complaint, if it's something very minor, I don't even bring it up to the cleaners. Like if it's something like, I think when you keep like if you keep sharing every single complaint that you get, they're going to be beat up and like be like, oh, like I did everything. Like what else? Like I'm not good. Like I don't want that to happen. So
Right.
unless it's something that's like very valid, where like it's an obvious miss on their part and not a repetitive, like I don't want repetitive behavior. If that's not happening, they don't hear from me.
Okay.
We're learning. So I don't know if that's the right approach, but
As
we'll see.
long as you're learning, as long as you're moving forward, right? How do you bring in motivation and keep your drive up? How are you staying at the top of your game motivation wise and making sure each day is better than the last?
For myself or for the staff.
Yourself.
I don't know. I'm just motivated. I want to grow this. I want to grow this nationally. Like for now, I'm focused on Toronto. I do not want to split my focus and have double the problems. That's back to what we were chatting about. What differentiates me is that I'm only in Toronto, for example, whereas like my competitors are like, they have 7 branches in like the GTA. I don't know, one in Mississauga, which is like, I don't know, like let's say 40, 50-minute drive from here. It's all houses, no condos, as an example. They're inscribed, like they're in different areas, even in Toronto. Like Toronto is like, I don't know, like a big city and there's like multiple places you can go. But Toronto downtown is where I'm focused. I want to scale eventually, but my competitors are already everywhere. I don't know if they're bigger than us, but when you are an owner and you have your focus diverted into like 7 areas versus one that's focused on one, I think it makes sense for the one that's focused to win. Maybe you'll have more volume, like you have leads coming from everywhere, but then you have to hire everywhere. You have to deal with the same problems everywhere. I want to templatize everything. I want to work here until like I have every single process templatized, whether it's hiring, whether it's like getting leads, whether it's like onboarding a VA, whether it's doing a cleaning, everything needs to be templatized step by step before I move to somewhere else, such that when I move to somewhere else, I've already dealt with every single possible problem and everything will be just a repetition of what we've already done.
I believe that's the smart way to do it. Get your SOPs down, make sure you have everything on paper or digitally. Right now everything's digital. Have it all down so that when it is time to hire a VA or the next person in the office, you just literally guide them through this, follow this, here are all your answers, right? Instead of expanding too quickly and having arms in different places, yet this location has an issue that you didn't know, haven't encountered yet. And you're trying to figure it out. And oh, look, the next day, a different location has a different problem you're trying to figure out. And your head starts spinning. And it's like, okay, now we got to come back and just bring it all back to center and refocus, like maybe close down some locations. So I believe what you're doing is maximize the one location to its fullest potential. And then if you think you can't do any more, reach out to others in the space and see, hey, is there anything else I could do before now let me copy and paste everything I know into a new location and do it there.
Yeah. And that's for every business. Like there's so much more room to grow in even Toronto and Chicago. Are you in Chicago, by the way? Like Mike?
Yes.
Like Chicago, Toronto, New York, I don't know, all these big cities. There's so many people in one building. There's like, I don't know, hundreds of people in one single building. Like there's so much more room to grow. Even if you have 700 clients a month, there's so much more room to grow. So it wouldn't make sense to like divert your focus, open up second location, pay rent, marketing, hire new staff. If you can just like continue on scaling this one until I tap my potential here or templatize everything that, as you mentioned, it would not make sense to move somewhere else. And I don't know, like we'll see who gets ahead, but I think that's the right approach to go about things.
Even about not getting ahead of competitors, as long as you're happy with the growth of your business and it's continuing to grow and the money's coming in and everything's working out, that's all that matters. Going into the hiring side of things, you have employees, you have 15 of them working full time. Now you have a VA that you've just introduced, or not the VA, but with when it comes to the cleaners, where do you focus your hiring? Where do you find them?
So it's like I had to experiment with multiple venues of where I found the cleaners. Initially, when I first started, it was Indeed. I didn't have like people on Indeed are typically either contractors or people that are looking for full-time jobs. Not many people would want to take on like one job a day or something. I didn't have like too much luck on there in the beginning, except I found one contractor that helped me with a couple jobs here and there. As I grew a little bit, there's a platform called Kijiji here in Canada. It's sort of like I don't know what's the equivalent in the US. I do not know.
I've
Like,
never
where
heard of
you
it.
post Craigslist,
Okay.
something like Craigslist. Do you know Craigslist?
Yeah.
It's like something like that where people sell like used items and stuff like that. I think it's a Canadian thing. And I would post there and I would get like a lot of people messaging me back, a lot of people that are not legal, a lot of people that are like just desperately looking for work. We never hired like illegal people, but that's the challenge with Kijiji. You would get a lot of people who are not like particularly tech savvy to like know about Indeed and know how to search for a job and stuff. They just like see, oh, a job cleaner needed. They would just call you. That was sort of how I went about things in the beginning. I honestly got one of the best cleaners that we had through that method. It's not the most effective method, but as long as you can get people. So that was like the second way I still do that now, but instead of calling me, I just send them to a form where they can apply. Another way was Facebook groups. I would go to like groups like, I don't know, jobs in Toronto, I don't know, Portuguese community, Latina community, English community, like any sort of community of people where like it's a culture and then they just post about jobs and stuff like that. You'll see like a lot of posts there in those community groups. Like any country, they have a community, just post on there. You'll get a bunch of people. I got some stuff like that. And again, like Indeed. Now, like when we're looking for full-time workers, now we're doing Indeed. Never experimented with what's it called, LinkedIn. I just never wanted the notification to pop up from my network. So I was looking for cleaners. So especially that I work, but yeah, that's how we did it. I think that platform helps, but even on Indeed, it's very difficult. Like you open a job and you get like thousands of applicants, and most of them do not know what cleaning is. So
Different than cleaning your own home.
yeah, no, for
A
sure.
lot different.
They don't know that. They don't know that. They just like, oh, I clean my own home. Sometimes it works out. Like I don't know, but it's just like you're gonna have to do work. You're gonna have to like test them out. You're gonna have to like phone interview them. It's a time intensive process, and I think it's the one thing that will make or break your business in this industry. Like, you don't want to hire anyone.
Definitely. So what's your hiring process look like start to finish when you find an applicant?
Like now as we matured, the first step is that they apply on whichever platform. They go into like a form where they fill out like, do you have papers in Canada? Do you have a work permit? It's just like the basic stuff that would automatically rule them out. I don't want to have to like talk to someone for half an hour if they're not even legal. So like the first step is just doing that, making sure they speak English. We don't look for like 100% English, but I want them to be able to understand if a client said, hey, can you clean under the couch, for example. So that's the first step. So the form has like a couple questions. One of the questions is also like, I have a description on the job posting on the form that they go into. It explains everything about the job, how they're going to commute, how they're going to get paid. I don't want them to come in if they're not interested. So I just list everything that might turn them off, put them on there, and then say in the beginning, like it's hidden. It says like in the question form about what your favorite drink is, say bubble tea, for example. And I just want to see who read it. I just want to see who are the people that actually were interested and read it. And like on the actual questions, I would just filter out the people that actually read the posting and then said bubble tea. I think that helped me actually rule out people that are not very interested and they're just spam applying everywhere. And interesting observation was that it ended up being all the people that actually had cleaning experience that read the posting versus like people who are just spam applying, like see like people, kitchen helper, a nanny applying. Those people have not read the description. Generally speaking, I'm not saying
Sure.
like all of them, but generally speaking. So yeah, that helped. And then once they fill out the form, we take those interested candidates. I send them like a Calendly link where they would jump on a 15-minute call with me. I just gauge their energy. It's very subjective metric, but I just jump on a call. Hey, how are ya? Like all good, blah blah blah. Tell me about yourself. Some people are like genuinely interested in the job. You can feel their energy. You can feel that they're a good person, they're a kind person. And some people are very bland, like, hey, yeah, so tell me why you're interested. I'm looking for a job. Like, why are you interested in this job? I just want to work. Like, you can gauge when someone is like just
Sure.
so those people are ruled out, and then we end up having like a pool of people because we don't hire very quickly. Like after we filtered out like a couple people, let's say we have 10 people, we bring one of them in with another cleaner. They go with another cleaner. I never send them alone, never, because the first cleaning I had was a person who never showed up, and I had to clean myself. So the first clean of the company was something I had to clean myself. I had to do it, but some people say they're interested and they never show up. Like, so that's why I have the Zoom interview now or like Calendly where we do the first screening call. Once that's done, I've had experiences where people from there, when they're scheduled for a clean, they never show up. I don't know what the issue is, but I just, you can't depend too much on those applicants until you actually see them in person. So following that Zoom, they are sent with another cleaner, like a cleaner who is already working with us, someone who's experienced, and their task was something like a washroom or something very small. So they would go there with the experienced cleaner, they would do a washroom, I would get the feedback from the cleaner. If it sounds good, I would bring them in for an in-person interview with me, chat with them, fire up the logistics, I don't know, sign the contracts, and then get them started in terms of like essentially like create a booking koala account for them. In that first 2 weeks, you know how there's a setting where like do not let clients book that person. The clients are not allowed to book that person. It's only us assigning that person, and we do not assign them by themselves. We assign them with other people always for the 2 weeks. So the goal here is they're getting paid, but the goal here is for them to like go to as many cleans as possible because some of them will burn out. They don't want to do this. Like they say they want work, but they don't want to work. And some of them will be great. So it's a long process. But after that 2 weeks, I've gotten feedback from multiple people, multiple cleaners on my team, multiple clients. I've seen if they showed up or not on those cleans. I've seen if they called in sick or not in those 2 weeks. And that's the only way I found to be effective in terms of actually keeping the people that really want to do this job. It's not an easy job to do, but that's my method of seeing who actually will stick around and want to do this. And we pay really well. Like we pay really well in terms of pay. So it's not a money issue for them that the ones that don't want to be here. It's more so like they don't want to physically do it. Uh,
Sure. So your automatic red flags would be undocumented, no English, or yeah, very little to no English. What about the other side of that? What's an ideal candidate look like?
Basic English, papers in Canada, legal, have had experience in cleaning before, professional cleaning, like with a company or preferably with a company or a hotel. It's not like we rule out people who don't have that. It's more so people who come from a company that is decent tend to have seen what the job is like, and we don't like. They're more likely to stick around because they've done this before, and it's not like a shocker. Oh my god, this is how long it's going to take me to clean a bathroom. Because cleaning your home, as you said, is not the same as like what we do. Sometimes we go and it's like dirty, and not everybody wants to do that. So I think the ideal candidate is someone who's worked before. They've seen a dirty place before. And so they're not going to freak out. And I don't need to do too much damage control on them once they go somewhere like that. And the ideal candidate is a responsible person. And the ideal candidate is a detail oriented person. And just the looks of them in terms of like how they present themselves, how they look, like not like good looking or not, more so like their
Sure.
clothing, like if they look clean and
They
presentable.
showered, they brush their teeth, they're not half asleep,
Exactly. Like
clean shirt.
if yeah, if somebody showed up to clean my place and like they're they don't look clean themselves, it's not a great impression of the company. And I don't know if this is a politically correct thing to say, but like that's my thing to do. Like I don't want like, they're representing us. We don't see the clients. They're seeing the clients. We give them uniforms, we give them like their supply stuff. But someone who's neat and tidy would take care of themselves. They would take care of their equipment. They would take care of their clothing, their uniform. Someone who isn't, you can't teach someone to be like tidy. And like it's just like something you either have or don't have. And
Right.
if you don't have it, you're not for us. Like
It
it's
makes
like
sense.
showing
Makes sense. Are you always hiring or do you pause and like are you always hiring in the sense of like are you hiring and like holding a list of applicants so that when you do have enough jobs, because you mentioned earlier, you don't hire people just to give them a couple jobs a week, right? You hire so that their full schedule after that 2 week trial period, they're good to go on their own and they'll have a set schedule. So are you always hiring and just collecting leads for that? Or do you take a pause and then when you're getting close to being ready, that's when you start? Turn it your ad back on. Say
it's
again?
probably flatter, like what you
Okay.
explained. We don't always run ads, like a lot of wasted money for nothing. We have a posting on our website where like if you go on careers, you can apply. It's always open and we don't monitor it until like we need someone. I'm not always hiring. It's what I told you, like because I'm the only person doing all of this now, it goes back to the point is like where do I need my time the most? When we don't need to hire someone, I'm not doing that process at all. We hire about 1%, like so far, like the past couple months, we've hired one person every 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. Sometimes, like before I turn the ad back on, I try to see because when you open an ad on LinkedIn, you get like, sorry, on Indeed, you get like a bazillion applicants. So I look through that before I open an ad again and see if there's anyone that's a potential fit. And we've actually gotten two employees just through employees of us telling their friends, their family members, blah, blah, blah. Like, hey, like you already work for ABC cleaning company. Like, how much are you getting? Oh, we're like getting much more. Like, why don't you come and try it here? And then they would ask me, hey, can I bring my friend over? And like, sure, I'll interview her. We got two people like that out of the 15. But that's an easier process for me because they already are from a different cleaning company.
Sure.
They are, yeah. And we do give them a $500 bonus of when they do that. Like the cleaners, our cleaners,
Referral bonus.
we give them $500 bonus for getting someone on their third month. Like once their friend is here for 3 months, they get $500 out of their pay.
That's very nice. Going towards the other side of the business, when you hire, you need the work. So with marketing, what are you currently doing with ads or not with ads? What's your marketing strategy right now?
It's a cliche like answer, but the first thing that is probably like when you start was local service ads. Like it was the only place we were getting ads. I would do everything I can to get reviews from clients when we got them. Like what worked the best is when you tell them, hey, this is directly tied to the performance of the person who showed up to your place. Like people would not do something unless they're my experience is that people would leave bad reviews if you do something bad. They would feel the need to leave a bad review. But when you give them a good experience, they don't necessarily feel the need to do that. Like unless you put a very big incentive for them to do it, they're not going to do it. And it's against Google's policies to put reviews, like to give money for reviews. So we don't do that. What we do is like in the beginning, local service ads was the main mechanism, but to increase your map ranking, you had to get reviews. Like there's something on Google where if you have less than 100, your like basically chances of ranking is like zero, especially in a big city. So every client would get an automatic thing, sometimes on the phone in the beginning. Now it's on an email like, hey, how was your experience? Do you know that, let's say it was you that cleaned Michael, performance is directly tied to how you and other clients review him. Take a second, it takes 5 seconds. Here's the link. You will make his day, for example, something like that, where they feel like, oh, I'm helping somebody. And they don't feel good about like saying, I'm helping the company. They don't care. They don't know if you're a small business, they're a big business. But when you tie it to the person that showed up to their place, I think it makes a big difference. And that's how we started getting a lot of reviews. And that made us rank very high on Google Maps. And that is probably the main source of leads now. So it's all organic. We have about a $500 budget on not a budget, like it's just open budget, but we just get billed 500-ish every month on Google, like local service ads. I haven't ran like paid ads in probably a year. So a lot of stuff was also on SEO. Like I worked a lot on learning SEO in terms of SEMrush and like how to increase your DA on like for Google to rank you higher, how to create web pages that are like high authority, lots of things about like posting blogs that have a high expert opinion, like look on SEMrush, what questions are being asked, what's easy for you to rank on. And I focused on local search, like anything that's related to Toronto, like how much do house price cleaning cost in Toronto? And I would write a really informative article about that. And I would really spend a lot of time like doing that article because if you don't provide value, you're not going to rank like that. It's as simple as that. A lot of people go into technicality, but the most important thing is creating something that's informative and then optimizing it for SEO. That helped our website. Like now there's stuff about AI, like when you search something on Google, it pops up in AI. We rank in many of those cleaning related questions in Google because of that work. It's not rocket science. I know people like to make it more complicated than it is, but that really helps. Like when you have multiple articles being linked by that AI, by other sources. We have an article about like regulations of Airbnb in Toronto, for example, ranks really high, probably like number 2 on Google or something like that when somebody searches like Toronto Airbnb rules or something like that. And it's linked in multiple different websites because it actually provides value, And when many domains are linking to you, including the AI, including ChatGPT, like when they're referencing your website for information, that signals to Google, hey, this website is actually authoritative when it comes to cleaning, when it comes to this topic. So whenever somebody looks for something cleaning related, Google puts you higher. And it's just as simple as that. The main 3 things to put it back together is like Google local service ads in the beginning. We still have it on, but it's not like the main source of leads anymore. Getting as many reviews from customers as possible and SEO. In the beginning, we also did the flyer thing, as I mentioned to you. And I would say this is helpful for a new business that's like cost effective, not necessarily like the most useful now as if you have higher pricing, because we're not cheap. Like, I don't know, those flyers are not working anymore.
Once you get to a certain point, you realize where you're going to stop certain things and move on. Not that they don't work, but there are better avenues for you to spend money and time to get clients.
Yeah.
How are you staying updated on like the industry trends and stuff that kind of changes, whether it's, Google or Facebook, Meta, or just anything else?
I don't spend too much time on that right now because we're getting a lot of leads. Like, again, I'm not focused on SEO at the moment. Like, we're getting good amount of leads that more than we can sustain. So the focus recently, and Booking Koala really helped with that, was basically switching one timers to like recurring. I don't stay up to trends. Like when I'm back to SEO, like when we need to, probably now when I hire the like the VA, when they're onboarded and done, figure out like the data stuff that I'm figuring out, like collecting data about cleans. I'm trying to create something to really estimate the time that's needed for each type of clean. Once I'm done with these two things, I'm probably going to circle back to SEO and probably look into more stuff, probably like Chat GPT, Google. There's a lot of YouTube videos that are useful when it comes to SEO, but I really think it's not as complicated as people make it seem, especially for local search. Like, I'm sure if you want to rank for, no, like something
Globally, something, yeah.
like for you guys, it's probably more difficult. Like, hey, like, I don't know, like, what do you call Booking Koala? Like, cleaning business, I don't know, whatever.
Software service platform, booking, scheduling
It's
platform.
probably much more difficult than like for us, like, hey, I want to rank in like Texas or I want to rank in like New York. Like some cities might be easier than others, but like nonetheless, it's a small city. It's not you're trying to rank in everywhere in the world. So just create some useful content and like you'll be good to go. I think. I don't know. So I'm not staying up to maybe I'll watch some podcasts from Booking Koala, seeing what other folks are doing.
Let's yeah. That's definitely one way to do it. And it's nice for you to be able to shut that part of your brain off and be like, we're good here and just know where to focus and continue that focus. Do you have any partnerships with other businesses, whether it's realtors, building managers, other service companies, anything like that?
We don't have a lot of them, but we have relationships with a couple of them that are really, really good. As in, like, really, really provide us with a lot of business. They have us clean, probably like each one of them have us clean like 3 to 4 per week, 3 to 4 places a week. So they're really strong real estate firms. They're not like the normal realtor that has like 3 listings a year. The Toronto market has been like really affected recently since I don't know 2 years ago. Its prices have been going down. There's not a lot of activity, so a lot of realtors don't have a lot of business. But these couple firms that we work with deal with high ticket clients, really rich clients. They really do help. Like again, I don't want to work with anyone. They're very nice to work with. They're very professional. We had real estate firms that we worked with in the past that were very unprofessional. Like call us in the same day, like, hey, go here. Like, bro, like, come on now. So we have partnerships, but they're not the main driver of revenue. And we would only keep those partnerships that are working for us. Again, we had partnerships that we couldn't continue anymore. Doesn't work for the team. Got to respect us. You got to, even the types of clients some real estate people deal with are not the ideal clients that we want to deal with. The more budget friendly they are, the more picky they tend to be, I would say. So it goes back to the positioning that we were talking about. I don't want to take anybody. And it's that decision basically. We don't have a lot of them. We have a couple of them and they're decent, but it's not the main driver of revenue for sure.
What about your strategy for managing growth going forward, especially, in the last 2 years, you're working a 9 to 5. Your first 6 months to a year was learning as much as possible. You're closing in on year two. Going forward, what's that strategy look like?
Going forward, my focus is going to be like for this year is to now templatize the VA hiring thing, make sure they're onboarded fully. Once that's done, I'm going to have a lot of free time because I'm no longer going to have to 9 to 5. I'm going to focus my whole time to like scale in terms of Toronto, not anywhere else. I'm just going to stick with Toronto. And we've started cleaning offices and like it's again not the main driver of revenue. We started cleaning offices about 4 months ago in Toronto also. So exploring that area, like expanding there. It's not very different from home cleaning. So there's not a lot to learn from. They tend to be easy, nightly jobs, easy clients, not too picky. So that's something I want to focus on because the margins on that is really high compared to home cleaning. I don't want to divert my focus from home cleaning. It's going to still stay the same. We're just going to be doing whatever we're doing now, just scaling it forward, just more reps, more people, slow growth, consistent growth. I don't know. You guys can see our data, right? So slow, consistent
We're
growth.
not going in there without,
So,
permission. We're not just checking on people randomly here,
so like, yeah, like slow, steady growth is the goal. Just repeating what we are doing, more growth, just making sure
focusing on that recurring.
recurring is great. I think it's the main driver of valuation, right? Like if you were to sell the business ever, like your MRR is like the most important metric. The honestly, my ideal avatar, like as a business, my ideal avatar, like as in who I'm trying to target, and circling back to like saying no to other people. Not that we say no to everybody else, but the ideal customer, the ideal, like if we were to ever run a marketing campaign, the ideal customer will be the busy professional who has a good paying job, 9 to 5, whether it's a single dude or a single woman or a married couple living in a condo that have literally no time to clean. They just want us to come every week, every 2 weeks, mop the floors, clean the toilet, do the basics and get out. They tend to not be picky. We rarely get complaints from those clients. They tend to be very nice to work with, very easy on rescheduling, very easy on like, they're just like the easiest people to deal with compared to people who are looking to get a deep clean detailing of their house and like every crevice needs to be like super shiny. And that's the ideal customer. We're never going to be able to like just do that, but that's what we hope to do. My goal is to have like maybe 70% of revenue coming from recurring. And we're
It's a
slowly
great
getting there.
number to shoot for.
Yeah. See if it's possible.
Speaking of money and revenue side of things, it's always the number one question people kind of look for in these podcasts. So how much revenue in total have you done since you started in October of 2023?
It's a lot since October. It's a lot since October. It's almost close to 7 figures now. 7 figures like a million, right?
Yeah.
So it's close to there. But I would say like it's not consistent. We've always been on an uptrend. It's never went down except for 1 month, January to February this year. It went down a little bit, not a lot. But I would say October, November, December, January, February in total together maybe was no more than like probably no more than 30 clients in total.
Of 2024.
Like yeah, November, October, November, October. I have a board in my where I work has like every month the number of cleans. October was 1 clean, November was 3 cleans, December was 5 cleans, maybe January maybe was like 7 cleans. Like it was very slow in the beginning.
You've hit a million in revenue combined in two
We're not
years,
quite there yet. Almost.
almost
Yeah.
in 2 years. And in your first 6 months, you had 30 cleans total.
I think that's normal, no? Like the first couple months was very slow. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody wants you. You're dealing with the cheapest clients possible, like people
And
who
you're
want,
starting at, in especially your geographic region, the slow time, right?
yeah. I don't know if there's a slow time, right? Like I feel like cleaning is always a thing. That's the beauty of this industry.
There is there, but with, going around the holidays and the new year and like school coming back into session for families, if you're not in an area like in the US, call it your southern Florida, Texas, California, states out west like Arizona, those in the winter get busy because they have the snowbirds going there to stay warm, right? So their slow time, I know especially Florida, their slow time is the summer because everybody leaves there to
It's
go
too hot.
back to their homes in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Whereas pretty much everywhere else, the winter time is the slow time. So you started at the slow time
Yeah.
and you're a new business. So that's nothing out of the usual. Like you mentioned, it's normal for a business that has no visibility and you're starting in the wintertime. But the fact that you're almost hitting $1 million in total revenue when your first 6 months is 30 cleans total, that's very impressive. That just shows how much you ramped up and what you learned from that time.
Absolutely. Like, and it's surreal. Like, I didn't know where we would go, and I have no limit to where we can go. I'm pretty sure we can like double, triple, quadruple. It's just never been the focus. Like, I've never been focused on like, hey, let's make more money this month. It's always been let's get more clients in the door, more recurring, more people, more workers, more happy workers, longer retention on cleaners, longer retention on clients, and like just focusing really on the product rather than the money. And the money just comes as a
as a result.
result. Yeah, that's how it goes. Again, like it's money has been very slow in the first year. Like I remember when we hit our first like 5K a month, I was like, wow, like that's a full salary. Like that's like a full time job equivalent of work. And I remember like I don't usually eat out. I don't like eating out because I feel like I'm wasting money. I remember every time like I would set goals like, oh, if I make more than $200 a day, I'm gonna order food. And then it became $1,000 a day, and it became $2,000 a day. It became $3,000 a day. But like every time when I thought that's a lot of money, it's just the next month or two showed me that like, hey, there's more on the table. Like, I don't know. It just comes as a result of working hard. And so I still haven't paid myself because I still have my job. But yeah, like just focus on growing the company, reinvesting the money, making sure everybody is happy, making sure you get good service to your clients and invest in your stuff. I don't know.
Focus on staying focused, essentially, right?
Exactly.
So, what about this year, 2025? What are you expected to end the year in total?
Like for the year.
Yeah, in total for the year.
So like January to
December.
probably in and around like I don't know what's going to happen next month and stuff like that. We're like at the six-figure mark per month now. I'm not
A
sure like
month.
what. Yes, in revenue though, not profit.
Sure.
But we'll see how that goes and like until the end of the year. I'm hoping to
Ballpark. If you stayed where you're at now, what would you close out at?
for the whole year probably close to like 550, 600, something like that. Actually, can check. I don't know. You still see me?
Yes, I can. Yeah, if you hop into your Book and Qual account and go to the report section and just hit this year under revenue, it'll give you what,
Checking
with your recurrings as they are, it'll give you what you're projected to hit.
year to date. We're at 550 year to date. If we keep it the six-figure mark for like 2 more months, we'll probably like be at the 750 range. I don't know. Like what's today? Oh, we still have October, November, and December, 3 months. So hopefully we can close it like, hopefully we can close it 1 million. I don't know.
Seven,
Like hopefully we'll see how it goes. See
well,
how it goes.
550 already, and we're a couple days shy of October, right? So,
Recurring
yeah,
is not a lot of money in like revenue. Like the main driver of revenue is probably like the bigger clients moving cleans, deep cleans, stuff like that. And whenever people like get the add-ons, like we have a bunch of add-ons, people eat those up. They love that. You start at like, let's say 200 and all of a sudden you're like at 500 because like people like add those add-ons. I think that's a good driver of revenue. So now I think there's a lot that goes, I don't know if you've heard of Alex Hormozy. He's
yeah.
a great podcast. Like he has a new book called Money Models. And I read that book and there's a lot of things that I can implement here. A lot of things. And one of the things that I implemented and has been working really, really well has been like people love free stuff. People love to get free stuff. He gave an example of, I forgot what it was called. It's somewhere in like the southern US, something Nashville. I don't know where Nashville is exactly, but I guess it's famous for cowboys and stuff like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, sure.
There's a shoe store that sells like cowboy boots for girls. I forgot what it was called, but he gives the example how like there used to have they used to have an offer, shoes for 200, like one pair for 200. And then they introduced an offer where they said the shoes are 600 now. They raised their prices, but they said buy one get two free. And all of a sudden, their revenues multiplied like never before. And all of that was because people would see like a shoe for 600, be like, oh, 600, but I'm getting $1,200 worth of free stuff. Like, oh my God, that's such a great deal. It's a $600 shoe. It must be like the most fancy shoe ever. And let me get my mom and aunt on it and like, let's buy three together. And that's what ended up happening. I think they still have that offer, but the principle is that it's the same. Like they just sold you two more shoes and they still made this like the same money per shoe.
Amount. It's the perception.
Exactly. So that's what I've been implementing. I wanted more recurring clients. So I implemented a thing where I said, hey, a deep cleaning is $500. Opt in for monthly and get a free deep clean upgrade every 6 months. including the first time. And we've been getting more bookings than ever before and recurring just because of that offer. Like people are like, oh, wow, I'm paying 200 for a monthly clean and getting like $600 every 6 months. Like that's a great deal. And I tell them if you cancel before 6 cleans, like we're going to apply back that difference. And that like after 6 cleans, I'm hoping that they're used to us now. Like they're just like, it's like they're my house is clean and I don't have to do anything. And this is a new thing that we've implemented probably like last month. And yeah, like I keep seeing just new recurring clients booking instead of deep cleans. Maybe it's like less revenue on like for now, but it's like an investment on the future, I would hope. And we'll see how it goes. But there's a lot of principles on that book. I think that anybody who's running a business should read that book. Really helpful book. A lot of principles if you really look into it.
I gotta say, second year in, your numbers are killer. If you're creeping up on closing at a million in your second year, then you have for sure in total gone over a million. 2024 was a very slow year in total.
It was slower for sure. It was much slower. Like it was much, much slower last year. 2020 under 200K.
Okay. So 550, 200. So 750 in 2 years. And then you've done 550 in just this year alone.
Yeah.
And you're
So
gonna hit.
I know the number of bookings per month. I don't really like remember that, but I just checked my Stripe account. That's what it says.
Okay.
So here and particularly the last 4 months have been way more. Like the growth has not been steady. It's not like we make let's say 10K a month and then 12K and then 14K and then 16K. It has never been like that, except like maybe 2024 was like that. This year was more like 15K, 25K, 60K, 90K. You know, like it's the jumps are bigger. Part of that is we have more staff now. Part of that is like we raised their prices tremendously. Um, yeah,
And
I
some
think
other strategy, the free strategy that you brought in,
that,
right? Where do
yeah,
you see the business in the next 5 to 10 years?
I don't know why I have this like goal of like being able to clean in the airport. I don't know why I have that goal. Like I want to be able to take on like the big airports in Canada. I don't know where we will be, but the thing that's toughest to do, Michael, is that you see something succeeding and you get that like positive, I don't know, reward system in your brain saying like, hey, like this is working. Let's do more of that. Let's do something new. Let's do something.
The rush, right?
Yeah, that's an urge. Like, hey, like I did this with cleaning. Let me do it with painting. Let me do it with plumbing. Let me do it with, I could, but that's the thing that I'm trying to resist. I don't want to divert my focus from what I'm doing. I want to keep growing this. I want to see where this takes me. I'm hoping like, and I'm literally just focused on myself. I don't know about my competition much. I don't know, like, I know some of them, but I don't know, like when we started, we researched their names and like how much they charge and stuff like that. Outside of that, like, I don't know how they're doing. I don't like, there's enough like the TAM of this market is crazy. You can really have a bazillion cleaning companies and not worry about your competition. It's just that, you know, focused on myself, want to grow this, want to focus on cleaning, want to take it to commercial, hopefully. Like as we grow, as we mature, get more people on board to help me manage the day to day. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. I can't tell you. And if you asked me 2 years ago, where would you be in 2 years? I would have told you like maybe a partner in Accenture. I don't know. I'm 26. I don't know much yet. Yeah.
And that's okay. And
Yeah.
that's totally okay because it could change in 6 months, right? Something drastic can change and your whole mindset can be completely different. And as long as you're okay with that and you're happy, everything else is secondary, right?
Absolutely.
Software side of things. How big a role does tech play in your business and day to day operations?
It's definitely evolved a lot. And I think I made the right decisions in the right times. I don't like regret anything. We started off by having nothing per se, except like a Stripe integration to a form called Cognito. It was like literally a form builder. You just like put whatever questions you want. As I kept going, the annoying part of that was that every time somebody books, I have to input them into a calendar. And I had an iCloud calendar for each cleaner, which have like one or two of them. It's like not a problem. So I was doing that and it was like a long form. And I don't know, I switched it up to be like a multi-step form, you know, like what's your name? Next. Address next. And that increased our revenue like so much, so many new bookings just from that simple step. And then I was like, you know what? let me collect the leads first. Like, and as an example, like you would have a form. What's your name? Click next. You take to the death form. Also increased a lot of our conversions because I would send them text messages saying like, "Hey, here's a discount code," for example. As we kept growing, that Cognito thing, like it was okay. We had an integration that would send the booking to the calendar, and then I have to assign it to a cleaner. Like that's the first automation I did. And then we had 6, 7 cleaners. I'm like, damn, like it's getting tedious. Like I wouldn't know who's available as an example. Like, that horizontal view on Outlook calendar, for example, or on Booking Koala. For those who don't know Booking Koala, it's like Outlook. When you want to schedule a meeting with someone, you can see like all the attendants and their like available spots. I was like, how can I get that? Like it's so annoying when you have like many cleaners, you don't know like who's available, who's not available. Somebody asked for a day off, blah, blah, blah. So I started adding like an event for every day saying like, oh, tell them available, this not available. It was fine, but at some point I was like, yeah, we need to like look into some sort of thing that would help. And that's when I was like researching Launch 27, Booking Koala, I don't know, like the House Call Pro, Jobber, blah, blah, blah. All these places, like, yeah, like each one of them had like different pricing, different features. And we ended up going with you guys. It was like reasonable pricing. It was, what we're looking for essentially. Um, and that helped us a lot specifically with the booking, like the recurring appointments. Like I think like it's very good how it has like that button where you just click biweekly and automatically updates the cost. You see it right there and then. So I think that the booking form is great. I know on the pro feature, which we don't have yet, like has the multi-step form. I don't think we're having issues right now with the form currently. Like it's doing a good job. So that was really helpful. And then the horizontal view of cleaners was really helpful in terms of tech helping us staff cleaners. Definitely like having a software like that helps you with utilization of cleaners. Like you don't want to be underutilized, having cleaners and not knowing they're available and not giving them an appointment. It helps a lot with the self-serve functionality. Like back on when I used to use Cognito, like I have to manually block each time frame. Like let's say I don't have anybody available on the 29th at 1 p.m. I have to go and put that I'm not available for every single one of them. That was tedious. Like now it's cool that when somebody wants to book, once I staff someone on a time period, they're blocked off. Nobody can book them. That's very cool and really saves a lot of admin work. Outside of the use of Booking Koala, we have some integrations in terms of like sending the names of clients who book on Booking Koala to make like to open phone. I have automations that take things from Booking Koala to like a sheet where I track everything. I'm trying to create regression models to like have an exact timing of every single clean type of clean, how long it takes. I want it to be as accurate. Like I want the R squared, like how accurate the regression model is to be as close to reality as possible to help me like evaluate pricing, cleaners performance. I'm currently working on like we have an integration. Like, have you heard of app scripts on Google Sheets?
Little bit, yeah.
So like you can write code in there and have it run like extremely complicated analysis for you. And I'm not from a coding background, not at all, but ChatGPT, tell the logic, it writes this code block for me, put it in there. It's giving me so many good insights, as in like, I want to know on average how long it takes to clean a one bed, one bath moving cleaning. And then give me like the average for each cleaner and highlight in red who's like performing less than average, for example. Pay, that's how we issue pay. Run a script. It takes all the booking data for me based on the logic I define. For example, we pay a flat rate for the cleaners for any recurrent client. It's a flat fee pay. It's not an hourly. But for like deep cleans and moving cleans, it's hourly. All that is calculated through that script. It pops up like a table for me. Like, here's the thing that you should pay this cleaner. And I just pay them that. Outside of that, I really don't have much automations. That's like really all we have. I think some people I see on the Booking Koala Facebook, a lot of people love integrations and stuff, and I'm sure it's useful. It's just not the highest ROI for me at the moment. Like I'm sure you can create Airtable and this and that, and it's so cool to see like what people are doing. But I think that's a focus for the future for me. I don't know.
And do you remember when you switched from that convoluted little
Yeah.
you had with Stripe to signing up with us?
I remember, yeah. So I remember it was not like when I joined Booking Koala, I think we were at the 40 30 40K in revenue per year, I think. Sorry, per month, if I'm not mistaken. But I remember like setup was a little difficult in the beginning, but then once you set things up, it really helps reduce the burden of admin work. Like I remember my girlfriend and I would be like, "Oh my god, how does this person book? Like we're blocked, we blocked it off. Oh my god." It's like just defining those settings on Booking Koala, like, hey, automatically put a hole in the card, automatically charge the client, automatically like block appointments for tomorrow after 8 p.m. automatically like all those things that are like admin burden, which are like probably fine when you have two clients like a month. But once we got to the point where
50K a month. I just got to stop. You're doing 40, 50K a month manually inputting on iCal, and wow, that
yeah, it was
that's
tough.
impressive.
I wish I could show you like the calendar. It looked horrible. Like I could
On
send you a
top
screen.
of a 9 to 5. That's
Yeah, I could
God
show you.
bless.
I
God
could show you.
bless. So what's what drew you? I'm assuming you just didn't want to handle, you wanted more seamless and more streamlined, and that's why you looked for the soft.
Yeah, for sure.
What's one feature now that you use that you can't live without?
Right now, I would say like literally, if I had to do what I was doing, I would probably like quit my job, like like quit my cleaning job. It's just like everything combined. It's just like the platform and making it easy, like even for the cleaners to see their schedules. Sometimes their own calendars are not working properly because they use like Google app, whatever they use. It's a calendar app. It's not like the Booking Koala app. So I would make a change, and let's say it takes an hour for her calendar to refresh, and then oh, I didn't see you added a cleaning here. My bad. You know, things like, as I mentioned to you, like when the customer is like booking and then they can click biweekly or weekly or whatever, and it just like automatically pops up the price in the bottom, it makes it easy for some to see, like to price anchor on the one time cleaning fee and then like click biweekly. Like, oh, it's 190, but then I can get it for 150. Wow. You know, I think that made a real difference. I think also like the portal for the customers, like, you know, it's really helpful, like not having them recall us every single time they want to reschedule, or just getting those texts from Twilio integration with Booking Quality. Hey, we're coming to clean tomorrow. That's also really helpful. That was like a bunch of things like that that are combined in one place, which is really great for anybody making like probably more than like, I don't know, 3,000 a month. I don't know.
So something you wish you'd done way sooner than you had.
For sure. Like it would have helped a lot for sure. It's just like I didn't want to incur unnecessary costs, and probably like I should have, but no, I don't dwell on the past. It's okay. It happened. We're here now. We're good. I think we're at 15 providers now. I tried to add someone yesterday. They said I need to upgrade my plan, but I'll see. I'll have to look into that. But yeah, like also you have like 15 plans. I remember looking into other platforms where like, for example, they had a plan, but then like it's unlimited users, but they don't give you automatic card holds. They don't give you this. They don't give you that. It makes sense that it's tied to the revenue. Like if you're not making enough money, you probably won't need the feature. Like it makes sense the pricing was structures with Booking Koala, and it's like incentivizing for people that are like starting out to jump on. It's like you can start for like $20. I don't know what's the lowest tier.
27.
Yeah, like it's not bad. Like I probably was paying that much for Cognito in terms of, so it just would have made more sense to jump on earlier. But you know, you live and you learn, and we're here now. So
Yeah. What about the flip side? What's a feature that you wish we had that we don't have currently?
I think I should share that with the feedback team, right? But one thing that would be really helpful, if you know the email notifications that go out, I wish I could send a separate email based on the type of booking that happens. Like, let's say it's a deep cleaning being sent out. You know that like booking confirmation that gets sent out, like you can define however you want. I wish, for example, in that I can say, hey, like if you want us to clean inside the cabinets, which are part of the moving clean, like provide a stepping stool and this and that for recurring, for example, because we're offering that offer, or anything specific to recurring clients. I wish we could say, hey, by the way, you've just saved this much dollars because you're recurring. You know, you're going to get this for free. Whatever, just like customizing like the emails based on the type of client that we have. I know you can put a tag on clients, which is helpful. Like just having a feature where you can send an email, for example, the automatic emails for people with this tag to be like separate from like just a normal booking.
Okay.
I think that would be useful.
Okay.
I shared something else. I don't know if you want me to tell you now or later, but
Sure.
there's something about like staffing, you know, like how there's a potential, like let's say I have two cleaners available. I know it's not necessarily helpful for people with contractors, but let's say you and me are available on the calendar and there's a 10-hour job and that needs to be assigned, but we only have, both of us have 4 hours in the morning or like 5 hours in the morning. 5 times 2 is 10. So that job should basically be fitted into like our morning slot because there's two of us. If we're contractors, we don't work together. It doesn't matter because we're not working together. But because I have employees, if I have two people available for like 5 hours in the morning, that means we can take a 10-hour job. But the system currently, or maybe I don't know how to set it up, doesn't let me do that unless I have a team that has those two people.
So you can pair individuals, and if the job is 10 hours regardless, there is a feature where if it's 10 hours for one, when you add two, it now becomes five.
Yeah, it does that. But if somebody's booking it, it would show it as blocked. When they book, I could pair them, it would fit them, and it would divide the time. But when the client is booking, if no 10-hour block is available somewhere, it doesn't let them book if I base it off
I
of it.
see. Yeah. So we'd have to look into that some more.
Yeah, that would be really helpful. Because now I have a workaround. I have defined a team of two, and I created a provider that's nobody basically, and I add them to that group, like to that team of two, and I just block off the team of two availability as needed. Essentially, that's what
Okay.
I do now. But it's working. But I'm wasting one provider.
Something more streamlined.
Yeah. But don't get me wrong, like it helped us a lot with scheduling. It really like took off a big burden. I don't think we would be able to accommodate like hundreds of clients a month without having like a software. I used to send text like manually to people. Like, hey, we're coming tomorrow. So
At 50K a month, that's wild. It's
yeah.
crazy. Final question, very simple. You could go back in time and talk to yourself when you were 10 years old. What advice are you giving him at 10 years old?
It's a tough question. A lot of things that I would tell them. I would say that probably one of the things that really is like true is that everybody wants the results, but nobody wants to do the work. And a lot of people, including myself, a lot of the times you have this like productivity porn, I would say. I don't know what to call it. Like whenever you're thinking that you're doing something productive, but you're not, whether it's like focusing on not the right thing, like let's say I'm setting automations that will improve my business by 1% when I could work on something that yields like 50% increase. Like that's stuff that you were working on. It's using your time, but it's not necessarily like bringing you the return that you should get. Like the same principle applies when you like people want to do something and they go on YouTube and watch videos on like, oh, how to start a cleaning business. For example, it's just like talk about like how to start a cleaning business. Oh, they talk about with their friends, hey, I want to start a cleaning business. Watching YouTube about it, watching podcasts, talk to your girlfriend about it, making a plan, making a task list about what you want to do that cleaning business, brainstorming for a year, like how to do the cleaning business, like all these things that people do and feel that they're doing something productive. But in reality, you just think you're doing something productive, but you're not doing the thing. So like stop just like doing stuff, thinking it's useful when like the only thing that's useful is actually doing the thing, you know?
Okay.
Thinking about the thing is not doing the thing. Watching YouTube about it is not doing the thing. Talking to your friends about it is not doing the thing. The only
Just go
thing
do
that,
it.
yeah, exactly. Like just do it. There's no job that will teach you. Like a lot of people is what you said. Oh, they're lying. They're not making this much money. There's no way a clinic can do this much money, or like whatever industry. I'm just talking about cleaning because it's my thing now, but they place limitations for themselves. Like, I have to get experience working in a company before I do this thing. I have to plan for a year before I do that thing. I have to raise money before I do this thing. Like, they place limitations for themselves, including myself. I'm not shy from this, but you place stuff as a barrier when you can just do the thing and like roll as it goes, you know? So I
Yeah.
think that's the one thing that I would tell myself, like, just do it. No need to do anything. Just do it.
Awesome. Well, Salim, thank you so much for your insight into your life, your business, and everything, your massive success in 2 short years. It was a pleasure speaking with you today and just being able to share your story with everyone who watches normally and any of the doubters that are going to land on this and see it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Michael. And one thing I'll mention is that I saw someone on the Booking Qualify group post that he did this podcast and some people reached out to their company to talk to him. If anybody, please don't do that. You can message me on Facebook or something, but yeah, please don't call the office.
And don't call. Just reach out personally.
Correct.
Awesome.
No, but thank you so much, Michael, for having me and for Booking Koala for providing such a great tool and platform for people to learn. I use these podcasts myself to listen to other people, big or small, smaller than us, bigger than us. Everybody's got something that they're doing right, and where these are very helpful for us to learn.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you. And to everybody watching, thanks for another awesome episode of the Qualified Podcast. We'll see you next time.